We wanted to explain with this first example what is a program that is independent of the programming language. Actually, any practical program contains the following types of instructions. 1. The instructions to allocate memory. 2. The instructions to read the data into the allocated memories. 3. To manipulate the data which is read, and 4. To print the results whatever we have calculated. While writing C language programs, commonly we try to write some instructions known as include instructions at the beginning of the program. Really, C language program we can develop in an incremental fashion. That is, we can develop using the whatever already available. Maybe someone might have developed already some code. We can use that and develop our program further upon it. That is, C language employs add-on style programming. Commonly, most of the C language compilers, they do supply variety of programs along with the compilers. They are called as libraries. If we wanted to develop our application or our program, we can use those ready-made things and develop further upon it. No doubt we can develop everything by our own. However, because of the time constraints, that is, customer may put some constraint that you have to release the software by the time, say within a month or so. If that is the situation, trying to develop everything from the scratch makes ourselves not to meet the requirements of the customer. Thus, it is preferable to support add-on style programming. That is, whatever ready-made programs are available, use them in our program wherever possible and develop our application further upon it. So this concept is supported in C language from the beginning onwards. Whenever we wanted to develop the ready-made programs using these ready-made things, first we may have to include the header files. Rather, I say we have to ask the compiler to include the header files by writing the instructions like #include stdio.h. They are called as the include instructions or preprocessor directives. Basically, the header files contains the ready-made functions prototypes. That is, how to call a function, how many arguments and what type of arguments a function requires, etc. is available in these header files. First we have to include them. For example, we wanted to use some instructions, rather I say some functions, ready-made functions to read data from the keyboard, to present the results on the screen, etc. If that is our interest, then instead of developing everything from the scratch by our own means, we can include stdio.h and use the readily available functions like printf, scanf, etc. The essence of this program is to explain how the printf, scanf can be used in our programs. Thus, the include stdio.h is necessary. Similarly, we wanted to use some functions like square root, cos, tan, logarithms, etc. We may have to include math.h. Thus, whatever functions we wanted to use in our program, first we may have to include the header files of that respective programs. That is most essential in writing a C language program. After including the appropriate header files, whatever program we wanted to write, it has to be written between two curly braces of the main, as shown in the figure. It is essential that there should be a main starting brackets, closing brackets, followed by a curly braces and our program, and then ended by the curly braces. It is essential for any C language program. Main is also called as driver program. Actual program execution starts from main. There is no answer with me why we have to write our program in this block that is in between these two curly braces. That is the C language rule we have to follow. Already we understood that a typical program includes instructions to ask the system to allocate memory. This is achieved in any programming language independent of the C language by declaring variables. That is, we declare variables in a program such a way that the system will allocate memory for them. In our program, we have declared variables A, B, C and ABG. That is, we wanted to read 3 students' marks and calculate their average in this program. Thus, we have declared these 4 variables. We know that the variables, that is, the students' marks will be of rounded numbers. Thus, we have declared the ABC variables as int type. That is, we have to associate a type to the variables based upon the nature of the data which we wanted to store. We wanted the average also a rounded fashion. Thus, even we have declared ABG also int type. Obviously, now you will be having a doubt that are there any rules and regulations one should follow while declaring the variables? Yes. Every programming language will be having its own rules and regulations. In the same fashion, C language is also having its own rules and regulations of variable name selection. In a C language, a variable name should be a combination of uppercase, lowercase, 0 to 9 and underscore. Always a variable name should start with either a alphabet or underscore. Typically, most of the compilers, they support a variable name of length at most 11 characters. Of course, there are some compilers which accepts variable names of length more than 18 also. Variables which we have used in our program, ABC, ABG, they are following the rules and regulations of the C language. That is, they are acceptable variable names. While writing our programs, we have to make sure that the variables, whatever we declare, should be following these rules and regulations. Scanf function requires 2 arguments, that is a format string and a list of addresses. Actually, this function scanf is required to read the data from the keyboard into the variables. As we are planning to use this function, it is essential that we have to include stdio.h at the beginning of this program. The format string is used to inform the scanf function that how many values and what type of values the scanf function is supposed to read from the user, that is from the keyboard. If a user wants to enter an integer number, that is rather the program is supposed to take an integer number, then we have to mention %d. If we wanted to read 3 integer numbers, then we have to employ 3 %ds in this format string. Similarly, if we wanted to read a float number from a function, simply we have to include %f in this format string. So like that, format string we have to prepare depends upon how many values and what type of values the scanf function is supposed to read from the user while the program is running. The second argument required for the scanf function is list of addresses. That is, we have to specify where the values whatever user enters while a program is running has to be stored. This is achieved by applying ampersand, that is address operator, to each of the variables into which the values whatever user enters we wanted to store. In this program, we wanted to store 3 values, whatever user enters, into these 3 variables A, B, C. Thus, we have used ampersand A, ampersand B, ampersand C, indicating that the scanf function is supposed to store whatever values the user enters into these 3 variables addresses. That is rather, we wanted to assign the values to these variables. This is the main objective of this second argument. Please make sure that while supplying the addresses to the scanf function, we have to supply the addresses of already allocated variables only. That is, we cannot supply the addresses whatever we wanted. That is, we cannot store the values whatever user enters into the memories wherever we wanted. No, it is not possible. Only we can store in those memories which are allocated in the above statement. That is, in our declaration statement, we already understood that for the variables, memory will be allocated. So in those memories only, we can store whatever we wanted with the help of the scanf function. This is most important aspect of programming. If we try to store the values into some other memory locations which are not really allocated to us, then our program will be violating the rules and regulations of the operating system. Thus, your program will be facing a runtime error and it will be automatically terminated. This statement AVG is equal to A plus B plus C whole divided by 3 will calculate the average of the values whatever user entered, and that result will be stored in this variable AVG. Remember, before scanf statements, the values whatever available in the variables ABC are unknown to us. Rather, one can say their values are trash or garbage value. Soon after reading, that is after executing the scanf statement, we may find that they contains the meaningful values which are entered by the user. That is, the variables a, b, c are set to be initialized to some proper values through scanf statement. Similarly, the avg variable value before this statement, that is avg is equal to a plus b plus c whole divided by 3, is not known to us. That is, its value is trash. After this statement, it contains the average of the three numbers we have entered. That is, we say that avg is getting initialized to a meaningful value through calculations. Thus, we can conclude that variables may be made to have some meaningful values either through scanf statement or through direct assignment statement or through some calculations. Before that, their values will be uninitialized or trash values. Especially, we have to be very cautious while using the variables in expressions. If you try to use an uninitialized variable in an arithmetic expression, its value is trash or God knows what is its value is. So final results also becomes unpredictable. So thus, while writing programs, we should be very cautious with use of the variables. We should make sure that their values are initialized to some proper values or meaningful values before they are being used in the arithmetic statements. So till now we understood that the variables are declared to allocate memory, then scanf statement is used to read the data, then calculation statements are included to calculate the results, and now we may have to write some instructions to print the results or the whatever values we have calculated. This is achieved by employing the printf statement. The printf statement also requires format string. Depending upon our requirement, that is how the results should be displayed, we may have to design the printf statement. The first printf statement just simply prints the value of avg only, whereas the second printf statement, it will print the message average of followed by the values of the variables abc and then the value of the variable avg, that is the average value. Depending upon our requirement, the printf statement has to be designed. That is, wherever we write %d in the format string of this printf statement, there the value of the variable in the variable list will be printed. For example, in the second printf statement, first %d place, the value of variable a will be printed. In the place of second %d, the value of the variable b will be printed and vice versa. The designing of the printf statement is after all according to the requirements of the customer or according to our taste. So thus this program contains all the necessary statements, that is allocating memory, reading the data, manipulating the data and printing the results on the screen. So this is how the programs has to be written in any language independent of the programming language. In any practical program, sometimes we may have to write some lines to guide the user. Those lines are called as user interface lines. They will simply aid the user or help the user while the program is running. For example, whatever program till now we have written, if you compile and if you run, while first statement is executed, that is the variable declaration is executed, simply memory will be allocated. Silently this will be taken place. The next statement is scanf statement. So thus, when the scanf statement is executed, system will simply hang. It will not be giving any message at all. It will be expecting the user to enter the data. But a normal user may not be knowing that he has to enter the data now. If we are writing programs for our sake, we know that we have to enter the values, so we may enter. But if we are writing programs for the sake of other people, then we have to worry about the other people. We have to write some instructions to guide the other people. So thus, for example, if we include a simple statement, that is printf statement, enter 3 students' marks, this instruction, if we include before the scanf function and we compile the program and run it, then we may get on the screen, enter 3 students' marks. That message will be appearing on the screen while the program is running. After seeing this message, the user will be knowing that he has to enter 3 numbers. These type of statements are called as user interface statements. They will guide the user. Typically, we have 2 types of user interfaces known as graphical user interfaces, GUI. You may be knowing Microsoft Windows is a GUI. Similarly, the other one is character user interface, CUI. Of course, most of you knows that if you go to the DOS mode, that is in Windows, if you opt run and type CMD at the prompt, then you will get a DOS shell. So there we can do DOS commands or we can execute DOS commands. That mode is called as character user mode. So we can write programs to make such a type of user interfaces also. So in this program we have included simply a printf statement which will help the user that he has to enter 3 numbers now.